Hello, everyone. Welcome to Office Hour for today. And today we would be talking about how we can use custom dates and reminders in our workflows and how can we move contacts between workflows. Essentially, we would be talking about internal actions, continuation of our automations, and that is going to be set event time date, add to workflow, remove from workflow, what is the array function, rip mode, text formatter, and how can we use the custom code within the sale process workflow automations. So we are in the internal actions. Last week we studied a few of them. So today we would be continuing from set event date. Okay. Goal event is done, split is done. Where is set event date? There we go. Now, what is happening in set event date is what is the scenario, why we use it. Uh, Here is the explanation for that. So we use the set event date in a particular scenario where your customer is filling out a form and you're setting up a date and time for certain event to happen, maybe a webinar or maybe an appointment, or maybe even in a sense that you want to send them some sort of reminders, and that has to be very specific. Like maybe you called a customer and he said that please contact me after 7 days on Monday. Now, what you will do is you will check out what day it is and you will tell it specific date and time. Okay, so we are in here. Today is 28th, so next Monday. So that means it's going to be on August 4. And the time I'm setting up like 11 a.m. call. Now, what is happening? Usually what happens is we set up date and time through the calendar booking and system automatically picks that. But here is a particular scenario. You called a customer, he told you that I'm on vacation till next Monday. Please don't contact me till next Monday and call me like at 11 a.m. on next Monday. So this is a particular scenario. You set it, select date and time, you use this action, save it, and now even without any trigger of the calendars, you can still use the wait action. Let me show you the wait action, and you can use it the event time appointment because this particular action will recognize our prior action that we have set up in the automations in here. Now, what I want to do is I want it in our particular scenario. I just told it that my sales team is going to call you on 4th of August at 11 a.m. So that is the event time that I have set. And I want the sales team to be ready 1 hour before that time. So I will set it 1 hour before the time, after the event, or exact time. We can set up any one of those. So 1 hour before, and then I would just set up an internal notification for my team. Let's say I want to send an SMS to the internal team, and I will send it to a particular user who's going to call him and something in the internal SMS. There we go. Now, what will happen in this particular instance, because the person told us when to call, so we are creating an internal reminder for us to call him at a particular time and date, which the SMS is being sent to remind the salesperson to make that particular call. Okay, let's go to the next action, and that is gonna be, okay, where is that? Add to workflow. Now, after setting up this a reminder message to my internal sales team, I want to add this contact into another workflow. Like let's say we want to send him to this particular workflow. Now, why we are sending him from this workflow to another workflow? Because in the other workflow there is an entirely different setting that is or entirely different action that is taking care of some other nurture, maybe some emails to make the customer purchase or something like that. So I'm using the add to workflow. Now that means the contact will execute, will stuck in here, and after sending the message, it will be added. The contact will be added to this particular workflow. Here is one interesting feature that you should remember, and that is pass input trigger parameters. What does that mean? What if this workflow is being started by a particular trigger and you want to send forward the information of that particular trigger to the next workflow? You can send that information by turning this on, and it will not only move the contact to the other workflow, but also it will move all the triggers with him in the next workflow as well. Okay, let's do that. And let's remove the next action in here is going to be removed from the other workflow. Yep, there we go. Now, remove from workflow. This particular action removes the contact from any specific workflow. What that means is there are two different options in here. One, we want to remove him from this workflow, or we want to remove him from another workflow. Like in this particular instance, after setting up the sorry about that. After setting up the particular event time date, we have added him to a particular workflow, and we want him to be removed from another workflow. And we can tell him which workflow is going to be that. Like we might be removing him from webinar attended, webinar no-show, or any one of them here. As I am clicking, you see I'm removing him from multiple workflows. So you can remove from multiple workflows or from one workflow. Make sure if you select the current workflow in here like this, after that, no action will be executed because the contact would already be removed from this workflow. So when you're using the current workflow, be very careful. That means the workflow is officially ended. Another workflow, I just show you how to remove him from other workflows, all workflows, remove him from all the workflows except this one, or remove the person from all the workflow. This particular filter comes in handy, especially when people enable their DND. And I don't want the system to try to send them an email or SMS because it will incur the charges. So I would use remove from all workflows, including this one. Okay, let's go to another action and let's go to the next one. And that one is gonna be array function. Now this one, this action that we are looking at is kind of very interesting. First thing first, it's a premium action. That means every time this workflow gets executed and a contact passes through this action, it will be charged extra. Now, array function means it provides you a method to handle list of multiple places. So let's say we are bringing in data from outside of sale process into the sale process through an API function or something like that. That means we have connected two different software outside the sale process to the sale process, and it is sending in bunch of data, and we want to use this array function in here. Now we can find a particular contact, which field, or we want to find by index. Now, why it's not showing any options in here? Because it only works if the data is coming from the outside of the workflow. Here is the explanation for that. Array function action provide methods to handle with list from multiple places. That means the data is coming outside of the sale process. So you can find the contact, find by index, filter the contact or line item. You have to define those line items in here, and you can also use the math function in here. Maybe it's some sort of value that is coming in. You want to add two different values or subtract or divide or multiply, something like that. You can handle that. Now, how we would use it, like let's say we are running an Airbnb business, and the Airbnb provides its own application to book and to receive money and everything. And we want to keep that data in our sale process so we could nurture the contact later on. How was our services? Give us the review and maybe visit us again. Rather than using the Airbnb function, where is kind of expansive, we would bring in the data in here using the array function. We can give the contact any particular information after putting up some weight or something like that, or maybe sending him an email or SMS to give us the review about our services. So you can use any one of those features in here, and there we go. Okay. Now let me use the next one. And that one is drip mode. Now, what does the drip mode mean? It means we want to split the inflow of contacts into multiple paths so that we could minimize a bulk sending out messages or calls or emails or anything like that. So we are using the drip mode. What happens is proceed to next step in batches at regular interval. So it will stop the contacts at this particular stage, and it will keep them there. And whatever settings you have made it in here, batch size is how many contacts should pass through after how much interval. You can set it to minutes, days, hours, and batch size. Let's say we want to use this drip mode. What will happen right away? All the contacts that are added in here, 100 people will pass to the next action after 1 minute, and it will hold everybody else in here so that weight and everything works accordingly that. And then after a minute pass, another batch of 100 people would pass to the next action, so on and so forth. So you can use the drip mode if you are having a very quick inflow of customer or leads and you want to send, let's say, emails. Now, because the email content is same, and if you try to send it all together, what will happen? The internet gateways will flag it that this is somebody who's trying to spam or email blast to the people. So to take care of that, we would use the drip mode. We will tell it, okay, pass on 25 contacts per 5 minutes. Now, after 5 minutes, 25 people will go to the next stage. They will receive the email, yada, yada, yada. And this process continues till everybody is passed to the next action. Okay. Today is very interesting. Nobody is here, so I'm kind of talking to myself. But if you joined from Facebook Live, if you have joined us from Facebook Live, you can join us in the Zoom call, and you can ask your questions live in here. But let's see what happens to the next one. Next action is gonna be text formatter. Now this one also what you want to do with the text formatting. The contact that is coming in, the information that is coming in, you want to change it to uppercase. You want to change it to lowercase, title case, capitalized, default value, trim the data. Trim means you are cutting in some data. Maybe this string of data that is coming in is way too long and it has unnecessary information. Then you can shorten the string to a specific length. Trim white spaces. So if there are unneeded spaces in there, you can use that. Replace the text, find the text, word count, length, split text, remove HTML tags. Very, very important. Extract the email from the data that is coming in and extract URL if any URL in there. You can use any one of them. I'm gonna use it to split the text and I'm gonna tell it, okay, full name, and the separator is gonna be the this one and the first, and this will return. Now here you see this splitting of text is happening on the basis of space. So it will pick up the space and it will show the first segment. So to get the second name, we have to use this action again, split text again. What was it? Was text formatter. Yeah, so we would use that and we would use the split text in here. But this time, the contact name, full name, I want the last name. Separator is again space. And this one is going to be the last one. So it will automatically pick up the very first word. Once the space comes, it will stop copying that. And the next one is there. Now, after this, I'm putting it the wrong way. But once it got the text, you should use the action update contact. Update contact field, and the field that we would be updating would be contact name, and we would tell it to put up the contact name from this one, so on and so forth. So every time it splits the text, you have to tell it where to put it or where to save it. Okay. Next action that we're gonna see today is gonna be the custom code. Now this one is not only a premium action, but if you know programming or you are good in programming, you can use this particular premium action to execute any particular action that we don't have in the actions as built-in. So let's say we want to create a number generator, like a serial number generator. We can use the custom code in here. The language that is used in here is JavaScript. What should it include? And what is your custom code that you want to put in here? When you save it, it will. Okay, what if I miss? So this is like the property. You can type the text, the code in here, and it will execute that code in here, and it will generate that serial number. Let's suppose that's the one that we want, and it will add to the contacts in there. So basically, in here today, we just need, let me delete all these actions. There we go. And okay. Okay. So let me open this up and bring it in here. And there we go. Okay. So let's talk about what we have discussed up till now. So we are in the internal actions of the workflow, and we have seen how we can set up event time date, how to add any contact from this workflow to another workflow, or and how we can remove a contact from this workflow or from any other workflow, or from removing from keeping the workflow, keeping the contact in here and removing it from all the other workflows, or removing it from every workflow that you have in your system. You can use the remove from workflow action. Then we saw what we can do with the array function. It's a premium action. Here you see the crown is there. The crown is telling that every time you execute this particular function in the workflow, it's going to charge you extra money. Okay, the next is the drip one, how we can stop the contacts, put some time space in between so we can handle the outgoing communication in a sensible number. Now, this one particularly is very interesting because we don't want our email domain to get blacklisted. That usually happens when you email blast a lot of people all at the same time. So using the drip function will take care of that. Next, we saw how we can format the text. And the last one that we saw is the custom code. Now, in here, workflow AI, we can use all of these actions. These are the premium actions. They are based on ChatGPT. If you want to use the OpenAI function or workflow, translate content, workflow summarize text, intent detection, and decision maker, you can use all these actions if you are creating any workflow that is based on the ChatGPT or AI capabilities in the sale process. You can use all of these ones as well. The next one that you see in here is the appointments, how you can update the appointment time data. Let's say you have booked everybody for a particular date, like just we saw for August, 11 a.m. for one particular person to call. And now you want to update the appointment time maybe to a different time from 4 to maybe 5th of the August at, let's say, 2 p.m. You will use this particular function, update time. What is the status? Is that appointment is new or confirmed or canceled, showed, no showed, or invalid? You can update its status in the system. So here you go. This action changes the status of an appointment if the contact was added to this workflow via appointment related trigger. Now, what does that mean? If a person is added through, let's say, form submission, or was moved from another workflow in here without using the appointment related trigger, this action will not work. So one of your triggers need to be within the workflow, should be about the appointment related thing. Okay. The status of the appointment that fired the trigger will be the status of the most recent appointment that the contact is carrying will be updated. Now, what is that? Let's assume that we have a customer who has two different appointments with us. The most recent booking that he did, it will update that appointment status using this particular action. Go to the next one. And that one is going to be create an appointment note. Now, the appointment is already booked and you want to create a note. You can use that. You have to tell it which appointment ID is. And for that, what I request or suggest in here is always use this custom field appointment and that it tell it the ID. So it automatically picks up the ID for every contact. And then you can type in the note in here, something, and it will update the contact or create appointment note. We'll do that. Let's go to the next one. And There we go. Now this one particularly generate one-time booking link. This one particularly is very interesting because let's say I have a product that I'm selling, and when you purchase my product, you get one booking, one meeting with me personally for free. But after that, I want to charge for any booking. So, how do I take care of that? If I give the calendar link to my customer, he's going to abuse it. He's going to book again and again. Now I'm in trouble. So, how do we tackle that? We will use this particular action, generate one-time booking link. What that means is this link, once it is used, it will expire. Let's say I'm using this one-time booking link. Okay, let's see, test. Yeah, let's use this one or which one? Let's use this one. We'll create one-time booking link, which can only let the customer book his meeting with you one time. And even if he tries again, the link will show that it is expired, that he cannot use that particular action to book again meeting with you. So that is basically all for today. And we have covered every action that we were supposed to do it. In the next one, we would be talking a lot about the opportunities. We would also be talking about the appointments. We might even talk about the payments. Let me see what is the next workflow. That one. Okay, so the next Tuesday meeting, we're gonna talk about how we can design the lead magnet for according to your business niche. So we won't be talking about the automations anymore, but you can ask any questions or any question particular to your system that you have. You can use that and ask us any question during this time. Okay.